Welcome to the Pretty Huge Lonely Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Barrett. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about some Christmas stuff. What's going on here, Christmas gifts, Christmas songs, Christmas decorations, discussing some of that, talking about a local event that I went to in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Then lastly, we'll get into the idea I have to grow the sport of Iowa women's wrestling. All right. That takes some pre-work to do. My hands are freezing right now. Maybe that's just bad circulation. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to discuss here was this Christmas season. I think this episode will be coming out next. No, not next. It will be coming out this Saturday. Whatever day that is, December 20th, maybe? Something like that. Who knows? Dates I'm starting to get lost on. They're all kind of getting jumbled together. It's like Christmas is a week and a half away. I thought to myself, how? We're barely halfway through December, but that makes sense for it. Okay, so for Christmas here, just wanted to give my general ideas on this Christmas decorations, Christmas seasons, how people get into it. Living in Texas, it's a little bit harder, I think, to get into the Christmas spirit because it's not as snowy as it is up north, where you have snow on the ground sometimes, especially with the blob that's coming through from the northwest, something with the warm air. I tried looking it up, read the AI summary from Google, then I clicked one article. Again, a bunch of ads to get through, had to click X through those, get taken to a website that probably took all my information, happens for it, but went and tried to read about the blob. I don't know, Illinois, Iowa, Midwest, getting a bunch of snow. That sounds pretty typical to me. They're getting snow for Christmas, so they're getting white Christmas. I remember growing up in Iowa, there were some years where there wasn't snow, so we wouldn't have a white Christmas. In those years, yeah, it just didn't feel as much like Christmas as it does other years when there is snow. Especially since it's at the beginning, it's still white. There isn't a bunch of sand thrown on the ground, a bunch of salt, a bunch of dirty gray snow sitting on the side of the road. Still somewhat fresh right now. So that obviously makes it feel more like the Christmas spirit rather than in Texas where I can go out, run, and it's not too crazy of a thing to go do. This morning, went on my weighted vest walk. It was a little cold in the morning. Once the sun started coming up, it was a little bit better. But it doesn't feel as much like Christmas, I guess. Especially, well, people who live on the other side of the world, people in Australia, I think it's summer there. If it was Christmas, well, I guess Christmas and summer kind of is July 4th. That's some people's Christmases. The start, well, it's a Christmas start of Jesus' life and fulfilling that promise. The 4th of July is kind of fulfilling the promise that Christopher Columbus had of religious freedom from the British. So that kind of goes together as well for it. But in Australia, Christmas just having it sunny, 90 degrees. I don't know what temperature it gets in Australia as well. And you can't really go with the latitude lines. I don't know, latitude, longitude. Get those mixed up together. Okay, good, I'm recording. But Australia, the latitude line, I don't know how to compare that weather at all. Because I think sometimes that doesn't work out. Because if you look at Europe, I think that latitude line is kind of equal with Canada. So Europe, I don't think they have the same weather as harsh winters as Canada does for whatever reasons. I don't know. Might have to ask meteorologists for it, look more into the news of the weather patterns that go on across the world, not just Texas or the United States. Because maybe they're getting impacted by the blob as well. We'll see. When El Nino and El Nina show up, then I'll be back into the weather again. Having Christmas in the summertime, that would feel off. I guess that's just because all of the movies we have. Maybe Australia has movies about the Christmas where instead of people going to cold wintry places, they're going meeting on the beach, and that's where people go for Christmas. That could be the case as well. It's kind of flipped where our crazy, I don't know, but summer type movies that happen, people going to the beach, going on vacation, maybe that's their winter getaway. I don't know exactly how that would work out. It's a work in progress. Having Christmas spirit, got some decorations up, they're fine. I don't do much decorations. Did some painting recently, did not look good. Still kind of got paint on my hands, and my hands are getting dry. That does remind me of the winter season, getting dry skin. It's mainly my lips, not too much, but my hands, there are some spots where I just get dry. But I don't know what time of day to put lotion on my hands that makes it the least inconvenient. Might be the type of lotion I have isn't the highest quality, but whenever I put the lotion on, it just feels oily. Maybe I'm putting too much on. That could be the case as well. But I want enough where my hands aren't super dried out. I don't want to put it on in the morning because then they're kind of dry the rest of the day. Similar if I put chapstick on or something for dry lips, I don't want that on the rest of the day, and I feel like I can't drink out of anything. Anytime I drink out of a water bottle, I just feel the chapstick coming off. So if I put lotion on my hands, I don't really want to wash my hands as much because then I just feel I just wasted that lotion and it's just going down the drain now. One of the limited times I do wash my hands. Whenever that happens, still got you can see I can see a little bit faded about a stamp I got this weekend. Thought I was past the age where I needed stamps before going in places. Thinking I'm old enough, classy enough places don't need stamps, but we'll get into that. That's later in the list. But I guess I'm not too old to still get stamps in my hand to say that I'm over 21. I don't know what age I'll outgrow that. Maybe, I don't know if you're old enough, you can just go in and not get a stamp on your hand if you're over 21. If you got white hair, walking with grandkids, and it's clear you're over 21, maybe you don't need a stamp. Then you just say, no thank you, son. I don't need a stamp. I'm old enough. But it might be a legal thing on the place that they have to stamp everyone, just to make it easier for the bartenders. Where was I at? Christmas, seasons, decorations, painting, stuff like that. The decorations are up. Not too much Christmas songs going on. It's Christmas songs I'm not too interested in. Don't enjoy listening to them too much for it. For those, they all kind of sound like the same song. Everyone's doing a remix of the same type of songs. Some people are jazzing it up a little bit, some faster, some slower, some adding in different instruments, some drums, things like that. But in general, it sounds like a lot of the same songs keep getting recycled, not too many new songs. But as I say that, there is one song that I've heard for the first time. I think it's new. I think I heard the radio host saying that this person made a new song. It's called Christmas All Year Long. I don't know who it's by. It was kind of catchy because it goes through the different seasons of saying, I'm celebrating Christmas, I'm having eggnog at this time, I'm wearing red and green at this time, I'm celebrating Jesus' birthday and enjoy that more than mine. That's a pretty catchy song, so when that comes on, I listen to it. Other than that, as radio stations start to exclusively play Christmas songs, I start to take them off of the presets of my radio and don't cycle through them. Because as stations do that, it kind of feels like they're just chasing, there's clout chasing. I don't know the last time I said that, but it just kind of feels like they're trying to get a crowd of people who don't usually listen to them, even though that's not the kind of music they play. That could be the case, because if you're going through the radio, you're just trying to go through whatever station has music on. If it's in the morning, that is very difficult to find. Every place has a morning show where I'm not too interested in your morning show. If I want to listen to your morning show, I would just listen to a podcast of it. So put out a podcast of your people talking. I don't need to hear, oh, this crazy thing happened this weekend. Stick around for 3 more songs, and then we'll tell you what happened. I can just look up what it was, and if I'm stuck in my car, I'll put on a podcast about that topic. I don't need to stick around longer. Which I guess they do that in TV when they say, coming up after the break, to try and get you to stick around. But radio, there's so many options for it. I'll just click the next one. And if I'm getting news, on Monday about what happened Friday, I'm already behind, and it's ancient history. Too late, not gonna learn it. Similar to movies, too late, not gonna watch it. TV shows, missed it, not gonna watch it. There'll be new shows that come out. But when they play Christmas songs exclusively, I just kind of switch to different radio stations and find those instead. So they're just trying to. I get behind it, they're trying to say, oh, we're playing Christmas music, so people listen during the Christmas season. Then when it ends, they might stay and listen to us again. I guess that's just the business they're in, where they have to get that kind of customer and advertise that way. Because all the radio stations play the same kind of song, kind of resets everything. Who knows? I'm not a radio person, not a huge radio inside information type person. I'm not a disc jockey. And for that, some of it they just pre-record it ahead of time. So if you are listening at 6 a.m., they're not necessarily in the studio at 6 a.m. So it is just a podcast, which they might put out a podcast later, just all the people talking. Who knows? I don't look that much into it. Kind of lost it since going to Spotify, and Spotify can just make me a playlist over with any type of genre. I type in any emotion, it comes up with 2 or 3 playlists that are exclusively made for me on it. I typed in sunshine walking mix. There's like 2 or 3. Sunshine, happy mix, upbeat mix, all made for you. Which some of those, I've enjoyed the workout ones that they make. But some of them, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to try to here, because that's the point of the podcast. That's why you're tuning in. But for some of them, they make this playlist. They try to do a mix of songs in your saved like songs and a combination of new songs you haven't heard before. Okay, good. Well, good some of the times. Because I have some like songs that were from however long I've had a Spotify account, 8+ years. So some of those songs I really don't listen to anymore. But then again, I hear some newer songs by artists I have no idea who they are, and I just wouldn't listen to them at any time. So I guess my music taste is just set back to when, I don't know, kind of growing up through high school, through college, and it's kind of just set there. So as I go forward, we'll see how much new music, new artists I listen to going forward to it. Don't know what it would take to get to know them, but that could be the case for it. Okay, one getting a message now. I wish I could look at it, but I'll have to look at it later. This message asks someone to be a co-host and jump on for, well, not co-host, but just be a guest on an episode. So we'll see if that happens. Tune in maybe next week, and we'll see if someone comes on, depending on the response. I'm not going to pause this. We're just going to keep going, because I was talking about something very important about my music taste not changing, which I guess that happened. That's probably what happens with parents. They play songs that they grew up with, songs they enjoyed. But Made For You, it'll show songs that I look back on and like, I don't really want to listen to this song right now. It doesn't really fit the genre of the music that I'm trying to play. But trying to match someone else's genre, that's difficult to do. Because I'm not one of the people who says, I listen to all kinds of music, I enjoy all of it. That's not the case. There's a limited amount for that. I haven't seen as many Spotify raps on my Instagram recently. Maybe that's because whenever I see one, I mute the person, because I'm not too interested in other people's Spotify raps. But my Spotify rap is better than everyone else's. JK. Spotify did have a funny thing this year of saying what age your music taste was. Mine was 21. I guess that might be because of the Sabrina Carpenter music that I was listening to this last year. Which, Sabrina Carpenter, let me say some words about this. So on X, Twitter, seeing the interaction between her and the United States government, social media person, that is some of the funnier things that I've seen, which I noticed recently, and I probably knew this before, but the US government, they put out some funny remix videos, either side you're on, for the issues, whatever the issues are. I think the main one right now is immigrants and stuff like that. The funny ones where the songs they put out just over it, I don't know. They are some, which I guess is what their job is, creative people and getting people's attention that way. They put a Sabrina Carpenter song, then she says, "Never use my song for this. Not for you. You shouldn't get people looking at your account because of my songs." And then guess what? That just brought more attention to it. I think that's how I saw it, honestly. I saw Sabrina Carpenter tweeting at the US government. And then I clicked that, oh, what this is, and I saw that video where they used her song for it. So Sabrina, that kind of just adds to it. If you wouldn't have said anything, it might have just gotten the interaction it did and then moved on to the next one. But now it just adds on to it and brings your viewers to it and other people from the outside to it. Because then X will start feeding that to people. But I guess that's one of Trump's initiatives in his administration, just getting social media out there, catchy songs, funny remixes, which, yeah, that's a powerful thing to get social media on your side for it. But talking about my music taste not changing, you might see I got a new sweatshirt here, Colby Cooper. I saw him recently, which, again, new sweatshirt, put that new sweatshirt alert right there. Don't get him too often, but got some of his merch. Saw him play at Billy Bob's this past weekend, the world's largest honky tonk. It was the first time I've been in there. I've walked around stock areas before, but haven't been inside Billy Bob's. I knew it was a notable place for people to play. With some of the country people, I don't know all the people for it. I just know the more mainstream people that are in it, listen to them. More country, pop country, some rock country. So I've listened to Hardy more recently. And his songs, yeah, they're more rock country. I want to see him as well. Because he came out with an album at Red Rocks. Would have been cool to see that, but I wasn't as familiar with this game in those days. Got a new sweatshirt. Yeah, pretty basic sweatshirt for it. What do I want to go into first? Alright, story behind the sweatshirt. So, obviously, the performer selling merch was walking around a huge area, which is going to mix in and out. I'm not going to get all the details I want. Walking around Billy Bob's, did not know how big it was. Was told it held 5,000 people. I was like, how? This looks like an underground basement with the low ceiling. How do 5,000 people get in there? Then you get in there, bunch of billiard tables. They have a bull riding area. That was new to me. Did not know that was an advertised thing. Pretty cool, but also, why is this such a hidden thing? So we walked in there, it was like bull riding, and it was extra money to get into there. It was like $6 extra to go in there. I thought to myself, what level of bull riding is this? Is this the minor leagues? Is this just double A, triple A? Is this the major leagues? Like, are the top bull riding people coming out here? Are these people is hired and Billy Bob's has just a roster of people? Is this a league? What's going on with this? This is hidden. And even asking my wife who was there before, she's like, I didn't know this was here. So I think it would have been cool if they would advertise that a little more. We didn't go into that. I don't know. Maybe next time, because this first time I was just going for the show. I just wanted to do that, focus on that, not be distracted by the bull riding. But next time if I go, might tune into that. They have a gift shop in there. Okay, I didn't know a honky tonk had a gift shop. They had a place where you get a picture taken on a fake bowl. Not too interesting. They had some arcade games. They had, obviously, multiple bars all over the place. And they had 2 stages. So this event, the doors opened at 6 o'clock. Then there was it was a pit show for Colby. Yeah, we're first name basis. Or should I call him Mr. Cooper? Who knows? But for him, there's kind of his opener. I didn't know who it was, but he played on one of the stages, and then Colby played on a different stage because it was a pit show. I'm not sure what the setup is for a non-pit show. We were walking around different areas, different radio stations there. One I hadn't heard of before was there. Free, some Texas type beer thing. I don't know what it was. Then his merch was there. Looked at it. Okay, I saw a black sweatshirt with his name on it, and then one of his album covers on the back. Maybe I'll I don't know if I'll put that in here. I don't want to get this video demonetized because it's bringing in a lot right now. Just kidding. Well, I don't know when, if that'll happen. New Year's resolution, which started going through some things I just want to do for the next year, planning things out, trips, home improvement things. Maybe I'll go through some New Year's resolutions that I got, pretty personal ones. I don't know if I'll do all of them, but maybe I'll go through some of them. But I saw a plain black sweatshirt, just his name on it. Thought to myself, that's pretty cool. I've seen Colby play before. It was at the Texas Motor Speedway. There was some country, not festival. Was it festival? Maybe. Maybe it was See, I don't think it was a festival because there was only one stage. There was only one stage and like a bunch of food trucks on the side of it. But it was multiple people going through. Who else did I see there? I saw some, and they were all like country people. There was one chick who played one song. Not Unwritten. Not Pocket Full of Sunshine. It was a different country, blonde-haired musician chick. I forget what song it was. And then some Pierce lady was there, and Dierks Bentley. He was the closing act for it, which I saw him at Dickey's after that. Which was pretty cool, upbeat, fun. Same place I saw Zach Top there. But anyway, the Texas Motor Speedway, now I can't figure it out. Oh well, I forget. It wasn't too notable. But I saw Colby play there. I was like, man, this guy's pretty into his music, some of the funny songs. Hearing the background of some of his songs. One of his songs, Excuses, is about his guitar player who served in the army. I don't know if it was the army, somewhere in the military, and got cheated on a bunch of times by his, I don't know if it was girlfriend or wife. I assume it was just girlfriend at the time. And he just wrote this song about her, which, I don't know, I think he just gets a joke out of it. Like, man, doesn't it suck you got cheated on this much? Well, let's sing this funny song about it. Maybe that's his coping mechanism. My coping mechanism might be making fun of situations and laughing. And his might be singing, his guitar players might be playing that song every time they perform about it. I saw him there, and I saw him playing at Billy Bob's. I thought, I want to go to Billy Bob's. It'd be a cool area to see it. And on it, we didn't get tickets for the pit. We just got general admission tickets, which I guess for that, you can just get general admission even if you don't care for the concert and just be in the back, hang out. It's still live music going on. That'd be cool to hear, and if you like it. We got that, and it was, I guess, cold in there for my wife. She was wearing whatever, that outfit that wasn't warm enough. Obviously, being a woman, you gotta dress for looks, not for functionality. So that happened. And as it went on, she was cold. So I thought, okay, well, I was gonna get this sweatshirt anyway. So, well, I was considering it, depending on how the performance went and how I liked it. I was considering getting it, but got the sweatshirt there, and yeah, thought to myself, man, this is a risky fashion choice to get a plain black sweatshirt with a guy's name on it. Risky, because people are gonna be like, oh, is your name Colby? No. But got it. I like it so far. We'll see. Haven't washed it yet. I am afraid that the print that's on the back of it of his album cover will fade and crack at some point. That might be the case, but it happens. Hopefully it won't be that long. And sweatshirts, do you have to wash sweatshirts every time you wear them? Maybe, but I got an undershirt on. So any sweat that would come through, the shirt will get it and clean it off. So maybe you don't have to wash them every time. We'll see. You can only wash so much, because you're washing winter clothes every single time after you wear them. Similar to jeans. You can't. I guess you could, depending on how much laundry you want to do, how many other pairs of jeans you got. Wash them every single time after you wear them. That'd be a lot of washing, a lot of shrinkage, because sometimes you gotta stretch them out a little bit. For winter clothes, if you're washing your sweatpants, sweatshirts every single time after washing them, that might be too much washing. So got there a pit show, not too crazy. Got general admission. And different things they had at Billy Bob's, they had a bunch of handprints of different artists who have been there. They had Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Zach Top, Luke Bryan, Zach Bryan, Lainey Wilson, a bunch of ones for that. And I guess it's a thing at Billy Bob's where you see the handprints for, I'm going to say girls, maybe guys do it too, go up with their lip gloss on and kiss the cement. So you might, so when you kind of back up from, because they have them all over, you just walk around and see, and they have other memorabilia, other places, people who recorded concerts there. A fiddle was there, which that was pretty cool. Then, because I think it was from Got Out Fiddle in the Band, I think that was it, or it was The Devil Went Down to Georgia, one of those two songs. They had like tickets, pictures of people who played New Year's shows. But if you backed up from like the handprint walls, you would see some were more red, pink colors, and others were just like still plain cement colors. And you'd see the names on them who were kissed more. My wife asked me, should I go up and kiss one of them? I said, well, whatever disease you get from kissing, unless you're kissing a handprint of someone who has no other kiss marks on there, I might never kiss you again, because I don't know what diseases you're going to get from kissing. I think it's meant that that hundreds of other people have kissed, so no thank you. That was Billy Bob's. It was a pretty easy concert to get in and out of. It was cool. Probably, I don't know, I'll have to look at the concerts more and see who's going to go there, who sells tickets there, because I think the musicians can set their own price for tickets. Wouldn't be too surprised. This show, we got there kind of early for it because I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't think this show was sold out. I also didn't know how packed it was going to be. Was I going to have to be pushing through? Was I going to have to, push through, find a better area to view the concert? They did have like closed circuit video feed of the concert, which that got kind of confusing as well, because somehow the TV feed they had of the cameras was behind what was on the stage. I thought being right there and having it closed circuit, I assume it's closed circuit, I don't know that much about it. I thought it would be kind of instant right away, where there was no delay, but for some reason there was. I don't know why. Thought they would have that figured out. Cool concert. I think Dylan Wheeler, they wrote a song together. What was the name of the song? Diamond Rings and Cocaine. That's the song they wrote together. So he gave a little bit of background on that. Oh, I gotta go back to the other topic I was talking about, Christmas. Well, before we get there, the idea I had for the Iowa women's wrestling, which I just thought of this like right before the show, so it's not fully thought out. I don't know. Maybe I'll clip this and send this out and tag them, or I won't tag them and they'll find it organically. The idea I had, which they might be doing this, I'm not 100% sure, could be the case, because they tweet out the locations of where the match is. It's a home, it's away. Well, I thought they might do this. If they do, great. I just haven't seen it and haven't looked at the locations as much, because I'm not going to pay attention too much to the locations, because it's not going to be near me, and I don't know how much traveling I'll do. Maybe for the Nationals one year. I also don't know when or where their Nationals is, so that kind of limits it. They could do similar to what the PLL did, the Professional Lacrosse League, where at first they didn't have cities for their teams. They would just go to locations throughout the country and just had the teams with generic names on them without specific locations associated with them at first. So they did that to get more people just generally interested in the league, and they weren't locked into having these stadiums and locations where, okay, we have to grow the team in this city, we have to grow the team here. They were able to go around and kind of feel out, okay, this is a big lacrosse following, okay, this city over here, not as interested. This other one, yeah, you might want to put one there in the future. Maybe the Iowa women's team could do that similar in Iowa. Maybe they could do that similarly in Iowa, where they go around to different high schools, colleges in the state. I don't know how many people are selling out, what the draw of the duels is. Duels are meets, whatever. They're competitions. So maybe they could go to different cities within the state. They could go to the east part of it, the west part, and north south part of it, all the cardinal directions. And just bring the competition there and see what kind of not see what kind of interaction they get, where they could say, okay, we're going to move the team here, but instead of kind of bringing it to other places, okay, you have to take the teams there, travel there. That's sometimes what you gotta do to grow the game. What sport was saying grow the game? Is that WNBA? Maybe. But they could just go and compete at these different high schools and show the high school team, places that have women's teams, high school girls teams, and go there and show girls, hey, this is an up and coming thing. Similar Oklahoma State could do that, because I think that would be a big draw, a big name team. They're not the best, still Iowa. They got some work to do because I think they're newer than Iowa. They could do a similar thing of just going to different places in Oklahoma, maybe even Texas, and showing high school girl wrestlings there. Maybe they could team up with the state duels of the girls team, which that might be a lot because they might already bring together like the boys and the girls. Adding in University of Iowa's might be too much to bring in. That could be the case for it. Okay, what do we got? I'll bring this up. Maybe it won't take too long. But Christmas gifts this year. I folded. I still got Christmas gifts this year. For everyone. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll see. I'm not too sour about it yet because I haven't received or opened the gifts they sent me yet. So maybe when that happens, we'll see. Because receiving gifts, I'm not sure if that's my love language. Probably not. Don't know which one is. We'll see. Maybe I'll take a test on that later. Figure out for sure which one is. Got them gifts. Talked to my wife. Said, I'm going to get these gifts. She said, I thought you weren't getting gifts this year. I said, you're right. I did say I was going to limit it and not get as many or get them for everyone. But I did /am/ they're not listening to this, so happens. I got them, but I did try to go through the philosophy of what Bill Perkins says in Die with Heroes, of getting them more experiences rather than just items that'll be in their house, trying to guess, do they have this item, do they not have this item, will they use this, will they just throw it away? So I try to do experiences where it is just a one-time experience, and the only way they would have experienced it before is if they bought tickets to that same event. Which, if they do, then that wouldn't be great. But I don't imagine that happening, because I do ask the people if they're free on the day. Said, hey, are you free this date, this time? Yes? Okay, then you're clearly not going to this event. No? Well, I'll get a different thing. But what have I gotten this year? And again, in the process of buying. Maybe by the time this is released, they'll know. Let's see here. Do a clay molding experience, so clay pottery class, a ropes course for someone. You got, what else did people got? I think not a murder mystery, but like a dinner murder mystery type event. They try to be detectives for it. Maybe a skydiving event. Indoor, not going to skydiving, just indoor skydiving. A lot more controlled. If they want to do the full skydiving, they can go and do that. But I'll give them a little taste of it, of an indoor skydiving thing. Because those sounds like things where you're not going to spend the money yourself to do that, because you think this is an overpriced thing and I'm not going to spend money on myself for it. How about getting someone tickets to go to a Drewski sketch comedy show? That could be the case. We'll see if they're free that day or not. What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of if things are overpriced, one gift I was looking at was getting someone tickets to the Texas Motor Speedway ride-along, where they have different driving experiences, which that's the confusion of it. Where Texas Motor Speedway kind of like sells their track time to other places. There's like drivers experience, NASCAR, and one other place. Where they just sell the time in those places, go through and sell different experiences and stuff like that. Where you can try different cars, you can ride along with a professional driver. Thought about doing that, but it did not sound worth it. Because the cheapest one, how long was it? It was $160 for 3 laps around the track with the driver. Which I thought going with the driver, at least the first time, would be the preferred method. Because if I was just to go to by myself, well, I wouldn't be by myself. A person might be in the passenger seat watching me drive and maybe giving me tips. But I don't think I would take the car to its full limits. I think I would be able to get it up over 100. But I think I'd be able to do that because on the interstate, go 90. I don't think I've ever gotten to 100. At least what I've seen from the speedometer of recent. Going there, I don't know if I would take the full potential of the car. Because also, if I go fast enough on the straightaway, okay, you go on the straightaway, well then you gotta turn. On the interstate, it's pretty, there are some where it's just, okay, straight shot, not bad. You can get it. You can get going pretty fast, not have to worry too much about turning. On the track, I would be thinking, okay, I got to turn in a mile. I can't go 100 miles an hour now. I thought doing the ride along would be the best option to start off with. But looking at the price and the time, okay, you got 3 laps for $180 and you didn't even drive. I don't know how long a lap takes. What is it, 2 miles around? Well, you got 10 minutes, which, again, that's just a guess. I'm hopefully shorter than that. What, they gonna go do a pit stop in the middle of it? That could happen. You gotta change out the tires and oil, gas at some point for it. Right, Christmas gifts, birthday gifts. We'll see what happens next year for it. This year, I guess I was feeling generous. Thought, hey, these people could use these experiences. Time of year, I'm spending the money, giving these people experiences. Now they'll think, okay, whenever I look at this piece of pottery, yep, Jacob got it for me. I walked past the thing in the mall for indoor skydiving. I'm not going to pay for it myself, but hey, Jacob thought of that experience rather than me going, I think he could use a pair of slippers. Maybe he could use a sweatshirt. Different stuff like that. That happened there. Okay, I think that's enough time. Christmas gifts. Yeah, we'll see what happens next year for it. Probably be the same thing where I talk a big game and then end up not doing it. Because that happens sometimes. Okay, well, the rest of this, I'll get to a different time. But thanks for tuning in. Please watch PhD TV trying to win championship with the Atomic Hot Doggers. Winning so far. We'll see what happens in the next episode drop. That is the end of this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow, retweet, repost, reply to tweets, DM, whatever it takes. So we're going to get this podcast growing and growing. All right, sounds good. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.